Hello, my dear friends. Glowing Star, thank you so much for being here today. Your time and support truly mean the world to me. Before we dive into today's story, I have one small request. If you love inspiring, emotional journeys that make you feel every moment, please subscribe to our channel. It's free, and it helps us keep bringing you stories you'll never forget. Sparkling heart, I wish you a wonderful listening experience. This moment is just for you. So sit back, relax, and let's begin. Thank you for everything. Now, here's the story. Liam Bennett had been chasing a ball since before he could remember. As a child, he would dribble a scuffed, half-deflated football through the dusty yard behind their small house, pretending the clothesline poles were defenders and the wall of the shed was a goalpost. He loved the game in a way that wasn't just about fun. It was something deeper, a pull that made his heart race every time he saw a green pitch or heard the roar of a crowd on TV. But his parents didn't share his dream. They were practical people. His father, David, worked long hours at the docks, hauling crates and guiding ships into port. His mother, Karen, cleaned offices in the city. Life was about paying bills, keeping food on the table, and making sure Liam and his younger sister, Sophie, stayed out of trouble. Football is a hobby, not a job, his father would say. You need something safe, something steady, his mother would add. Liam understood why they thought that way. Money was always tight, and dreams that didn't lead to a guaranteed paycheck were luxuries they couldn't afford to believe in. Still, it hurt, because for Liam, football wasn't just a game. It was his future. At school, he played whenever he could. Lunch breaks, after classes, weekends with friends on the cracked concrete pitch behind the sports hall. He was fast, light on his feet, with a knack for reading the game, knowing where the ball would be before anyone else did. But every time he mentioned wanting to join a youth team or attend tryouts, the answer at home was the same. No, it's a waste of time. You should be focusing on real work. By the time he was 16, the pressure to choose a real job was constant. His parents wanted him to stay in school until 18, then get a stable job, maybe at the docks with his father or in a shop. But Liam couldn't imagine his life without the game. One night, after another argument at the dinner table, he lay awake staring at the ceiling. His mind replayed the same thought over and over. I can't keep waiting for permission to live my life. The next morning, he made a decision. He left school early and walked to a local warehouse, where he'd heard they were looking for young workers to load trucks. The pay wasn't great, but it was enough to cover his share of the bills and leave something left for himself. When he came home with the job offer, his parents were stunned. "You're quitting school?" his father said, disbelief heavy in his voice. "I'm choosing my own path," Liam replied. "This isn't a path, it's a dead end," his mother cried. But he had made up his mind. He would work, save, and train, and one day, he'd get his shot. The warehouse job was hard. Early mornings, heavy lifting, long hours. His back ached, his hands blistered. But every day after work, no matter how tired he was, Liam went to the public pitch near the river. Sometimes he trained alone, running sprints, practicing dribbles, and firing shot after shot into the goal. Sometimes he joined pickup games with strangers, always pushing himself to be faster, sharper, more precise. Rain or shine, he was there. There were nights when exhaustion almost won. Nights when his legs burned and his muscles screamed for rest. But he thought about the players he admired, the ones who had fought their way up from nothing, and told himself, if they can do it, so can I. It was during one of these evening sessions that he caught someone's attention. A tall man in a tracksuit stood by the fence, watching him play. Liam noticed him only after the game ended, when the man stepped forward. "You've got a good touch," the stranger said. "Quick feet. Good vision." "Thanks," Liam replied, wary but curious. "I'm Coach Harris," the man said, offering his hand. "I work with a local semi-pro team. We're looking for new talent. You ever thought about trying out?" Liam's heart pounded. "Every day." "Good," Harris said with a small smile. "Tryouts are next Saturday. Be there, and bring those quick feet." That night, Liam couldn't sleep. This was it, his first real chance. But he knew one thing. Getting invited was one thing. Earning a place would be another. Over the next week, he trained harder than ever before. Work, pinch, sleep, repeat. No excuses. No distractions. And when Saturday came, he walked onto that field with a heart full of determination and a mind set on one thing. This is my shot. I'm not wasting it. Saturday broke open like a drum. The sky was a hard blue, the kind that made every blade of grass look sharpened. Liam arrived 30 minutes early with a bottle of water, a banana, and boots he'd cleaned with a toothbrush the night before. The pitch at Riverton AFC looked like a place where decisions were made, white lines freshly chalked, cones in disciplined rows, nets humming in the breeze. Coach Harris stood near midfield with a clipboard and a whistle. Beside him was an assistant coach with a tight bun and sharper eyes. "That's Coach Marta," someone whispered. "Played pro. Doesn't miss a thing. Warm-up starts in 2, Harris called. If you're late, you're last. And if you're last, you're out." They began with a dynamic warm-up, high knees, heel kicks, lunges, and then shifted into short passing grids. Liam settled into the rhythm, 2 touches and move, checking shoulders like he'd drilled in his head 1,000 times. Nerves made his first few passes sticky. He breathed, found a calmer pace, and the ball started obeying. "Rondos," Coach Marta shouted. 5 circles sprang to life, 4 attackers, 2 defenders. 10 passes got you out. Liam stepped into a circle and felt the heat of the press immediately, boots thudding, breath loud, the ball zipping with the urgency of a heartbeat. He made a simple mistake on his second touch and was punished with a defender's grin. "Scan sooner," Marta said flatly as he ran in. "Turn your head before the ball arrives. Trust your feet." He nodded, stealing glances over each shoulder. The next sequence he disguised a pass with his eyes, rolled the ball across his body, and fed the far player. 10 passes clicked like beads on a string. "Better," Marta said, not praise, permission to keep going. They moved into sprints, 10, 20, then 30 meters. Liam's legs remembered the warehouse, boxes and pallets and long concrete corridors. He wasn't the fastest, but he didn't fade. At the end of the last rep, when others bent double, he stood up straight and shook out his arms like he had more to give. "Beat test," Harris announced. Groans rose like pigeons. The group lined up on the chalked marks. The first levels felt almost friendly, a jog with an appointment. Then the beats shortened and the field closed in. One by one, players peeled off. Liam told his legs a story about docks and dons and running when the bus broke down. When he finally missed a line by half a shoe, he staggered, turned, and still tried to make the next. "Good enough," Harris said, making a note. Heart, scrimmage, bibbed shirts on, positions declared with the impatience of people who believed they owned them. Liam took a wide roll on the left, the place where you could be ignored until you weren't. The first 15 minutes were ugly. Touches too long, passes too clever for their own good. A striker who demanded the ball like it owed him money. Liam focused on small rules: show early, offer a passing lane, stretch the line, sprint when the ball turned over. On a counter, he checked to the midfielder and spun into space at the same time, the simple combination he'd traced on sidewalks. The ball slipped into the channel. He took one touch, looked up, and whipped across to the near post. The striker, to his credit, got there. Side netting, but close enough to make Harris pencil stop. After water, an older lad with tattooed calves jogged over. "Name's Cade," he said, not smiling. "You cut inside, I overlap. You hesitate, I put a hole in the grass. Figure it out." "Got it," Liam said. He meant it. 5 minutes later he delayed half a second too long and nearly clothed Cade in an advertising board. "Move it," Cade snarled. "It's not darts." "Again," Liam said, cheeks burning. The next time he hit the angle first time and Cade nodded once, the closest thing to truce. The final whistle didn't sound so much as a rhyme. Harris raising a hand, the field falling quiet except for lungs. "Thank you," he said. "If you hear from us by Monday, you're in the training group. If you don't, keep working." He looked around the circle and let the quiet harden. Hard truth. Everyone wants it. Not everyone does the life it costs. Walking home, Liam didn't try to predict Monday. He replayed what he could control. The quick cross, the late pass, the beep test that had bitten his heels. At the door he took his boots off outside out of habit. His mother opened before he could touch the knob. "You were gone early," she said, eyes dropping to the bag. "Training? Tryout," he said. It felt strange to put it in the light. For a semi-pro side. Her mouth pressed thin, then softened. "Eat something. Then tell me everything." He did. Every drill in small square details, every mistake like a confession. She didn't sigh or say "I told you so." When he finished, she put a plate in front of him and squeezed his shoulder. "Whatever happens, I'm proud you went." His father came in late, shoulders a map of the day's weight. "He tried out," Karen said gently. David's mouth made a tight line that wanted to be many things. "It's his life," he said at last, and disappeared to wash the dock off his hands. On Monday, the text arrived while Liam was stacking boxes. Harris. Training group. Tuesday, 7 p.m. Don't be late. RH. He had to read it 3 times before his chest believed his eyes. At break he called his mother. She cried quietly like someone exhaling a held breath. He told Mr. Patel, the warehouse manager with the kind eyes, that he might need to shift hours. Patel looked at the ceiling as if the schedule lived up there. "I can move you to early shifts," he said. 4 a.m. to noon. "You won't like it, but it will like your football." "I'll take it," Liam said, before the sleep in his future could argue. Training under the lights felt like stepping into a colder, clearer version of the game. Everything was faster, tighter, louder, touches counted, runs punished if lazy, decisions timed with a sundial set to seconds. Coach Marta's sessions were cut with a surgeon's precision. Positional play in small boxes until brains hurt. Then expansion into game-sized problems where bad habits had nowhere to hide. "Scan," she barked, snapping her fingers at Liam's temple. "See the pitch before the pitch sees you." Harris focused on transitions. "Win it, play forward in 3, if not, recycle," he said, tapping his watch like it held the secret. "We don't admire possession for its own sake. We bully it into purpose." The squad had its characters. Cade, all edge and engines. Ollie, the keeper, who wore jokes like padding and had hands that swallowed crosses. Jamal, a midfielder whose first touch could hush rooms, and whose second touch sometimes got him in trouble because he loved the first too much. Marco, a forward with treads for calves and the sympathy of a fire alarm. You come here to be nice or to win? He asked once, when a scrimmage got kick-heavy. Both, Liam said, and surprised himself with how true it felt. The first weeks were a muscle Liam didn't know he had learning to hold. The warehouse at dawn, sweat in the cold, hands raw from cardboard. A nap that wasn't a nap after lunch. Then to the pitch, where Coach Marta drilled the bat out of his feet and Harris demanded he read the game like a thief casing a street. There were nights he failed. A square pass picked off and punished. A pressing trigger he missed and an earful to match. Once, late in a scrimmage, he tried to solve a knot with brilliance and tied it tighter until the other team scored. Solve the easy way first, Marta said, voice not unkind. You earn difficulty by mastering simplicity. Cade remained a test he sat every Tuesday. Faster, Cade barked. Quicker. Move. Then, once, after Liam tracked a 60-meter recovery and nicked the ball without fouling, Cade said, almost conversationally, good. It felt like finding a pound coin in an old coat. At home, currency was different. His father counted a life in hours and the ache at the end of them. One night, after Liam came in late with tape still on his ankle, David was waiting at the kitchen table. You can't do both, he said quietly. I am doing both, Liam said, just as quiet. For how long? There was no anger in it. Only the tired fear of a man who had watched too many ladders end halfway up a wall. As long as it takes, Liam said. Until I don't have to choose between being alive and being reliable. They stared at each other across bread and a chipped mug. His father looked away first, then back with something new in his eyes. Don't be late for work, he said. And eat. 2 weeks before the first friendly, Liam turned his ankle chasing a lost cause in training, stepping on a cone and hearing a white flash of sound. He went down swearing in syllables and tried to stand on it before his brain voted no. Off, Marta said, kneeling in one movement and pressing her thumb gently along the tendon. Not bad. Rice tonight. Physio tomorrow. And stop trying to walk bravery into a sprain. The physio, Amara, had hands that understood both force and mercy. You've been getting away with lazy warm-ups, she said, making notes on a tablet. Warehouse doesn't count as activation. Do this, she demonstrated monster walks and ankle alphabets, and this. Calf raises slow enough to write letters, and this. A banded routine that felt trivial until it didn't. Pain is information. Don't let it be the only kind you listen to. He iced, he elevated, he did the dull things that keep good things possible. The next week he trained on minutes instead of miles, angry at his body for being a body and grateful to it for being honest. By Saturday his ankle forgot to complain for whole stretches at a time. The friendly against Harbor Vale started under cloud and ended under floodlights. Harris named the starters on a whiteboard with quick strokes, then the bench. Liam's name landed among the substitutes like a promise with a small print. Minutes for the second half, Harris told him. If you get on, first job is defensive. Second job is carry. Third is final ball. In that order. He came on in the 68th, bootlaces tight, heart hammering, mouth dry the way nerves cure. The game had the tempo of a late argument, messy, fast, direct. He stayed wide as asked, pressed when the fullback dropped his gaze to the ball, and learned at once that semi-pro defenders are not the weekend strangers at the river pitch. They nudge you off lines with experience. They bait you with false space. They manage you. In the 78th, Jamal pinched a ball in midfield and Liam ran like a flag-catching wind. He took the pass in stride, chopped inside, saw the far post like a dare, and hit it sweet. It kissed the upright with a noise like the last laugh and spun out for a goal kick. He stood there and let the remorse wash over him, then jogged back with palms open. Next one. Ollie shouted from 50 yards, like a barman saving a seat. It's listening now. After, Harris met him at the touchline with a nod. You saw it. You'll finish it next time. Good pressing. Forced 2 bad passes. That matters. Marta handed him a printout of GPS stats and a pen. Circle the sprints where you were late, she said. You'll fix them on Tuesday. On the bus home, his phone buzzed. A message from Sophie. Mum said you nearly scored. Send video. 3 exclamation points, then a 4th, like a garnish. He sent what he had. Grainy footage from a parent's phone that cut off just before the post. I'll score one you can actually see, he wrote, and put the phone in his pocket before anxiety could type a response. Work adjusted around football, and football demanded everything not nailed down. Mr. Patel shifted him to loading manifests when his ankle was still grumbling. Brains also lift, he said. Use yours. Save the good hurts for the pitch. Liam stopped drinking fizzy drinks because Coach Marta once raised an eyebrow at a can. He started sleeping like it was part of training. He learned to love the taste of water and bananas and the strange satisfaction of waking up at 4 without hating the alarm. He also learned, bit by bit, that the game at this level was 1,000 little readings. Hips, eyes, first touches that told the second story before it began. Harris made them watch clips in the meeting room and pause before the pass. Where's the trap? He'd ask. Who is tired? Who didn't scan? Where do you hurt them if you don't need the ball? Cade surprised him by sitting beside him in one session and muttering, if he looks at his laces before he passes, he's going square. Every time? Liam whispered. 90%, Cade said. The other 10 is when he looked because he remembered me telling you, which means he's already thinking slower. It became a game, predicting before reality did. The first time Liam stepped to an intercept that hadn't happened yet and took the ball clean, Harris whistled one short note, the team's secret word for good robbery. There were still stumbles. In a training match he overran a press and left Jamal's pocket exposed. The other side scored and Jamal cursed him with a poet's vocabulary. They argued back to the restart and then shut up and got on with it, sweating the apology onto the grass. After, Jamal tapped his knuckles against Liam's shin pad. Happens, he said. Next time, touch my shoulder on your way. Reminds me to shuffle. Got it, Liam said. He meant I'll be better and also thanks. At home, something shifted like furniture pushed against a wall. His mother started leaving Tupperware with rice and chicken in the fridge with post-it notes, for training nights. His father began asking, not if he'd found a job with a pension yet, but who they were playing on Saturday. Riverton versus Eastbridge, he'd say, trying on the rhythm the way you try on a new jacket. He never promised to come. Then, one evening, he did not say he wouldn't. On a rare Sunday off, Liam took Sophie to the park with a ball and cones made out of old socks. He taught her drag backs and the art of looking up before passing. She taught him a TikTok dance he refused to learn until he learned it and was bullied into laughing at himself. You're going to be on TV one day, she said with the conviction of someone who hadn't learned doubt yet. And I'll be in the stands with a sign. What will it say? He asked. Don't hit the post, she said, and ran. The week before the league opener, Harris called a meeting that tasted like electricity. You've earned a starting 11, he said, looking around the room. And a bench that forces the starters to stay honest. Friday's training decides two places, left wing and holding mid. Everything else is set. He looked at Liam and then away, the way a man looks at a test rather than the person taking it. Friday was bloodless in the way war games are not. Liam woke before his alarm, ate his quiet breakfast, and walked to the pitch with heat braided into his nerves. Coach Marta's possession drill had teeth. Liam found the details and polished them: weight of pass, angle of support, first touch that invited the second like an old friend. In the full pitch game that followed, he did the ugly running, backtracking on a fullback's overlap, tucking in when Jamal drifted, shouting, shoulder, decayed when a runner ghosted in his blind spot. And then, in minute 19 of the big-sided scrimmage, the moment came like a trapdoor opening under someone else. Their center back played a lazy square ball. Liam had seen it twice in clips, once in a dream, and every Tuesday in Cade's advice. He jumped the line, stole it clean, and went straight. The keeper began to spread. The far post memory laughed in his head. He opened his hips like he might caress it to the corner and then slotted it inside the near post instead, low and mean. Silence, then a noise like a chair scraping joyfully across a floor. Harris blew the whistle and pointed with his pencil. That, he said. He didn't smile. His eyes did. After cool down, names went on the board. L. Bennett, LW. The letters looked like they belonged to someone else until they didn't. He took a picture and sent it to Sophie, then to his mother. He stared at his father's contact and didn't send it, then did. The dots appeared, disappeared, then came back. Proud of you, son. We'll try to make it. Dad. He read it twice, then a third time. The words didn't light the room. They lit the road to it. Saturday night. Floodlights like white suns. The smell of wet grass and burger vans. A drum somewhere behind the goal. A child's laugh. A dog that had learned to bark on offside. Riverton versus Eastbridge. First league match. Points that would live tall or short on a table no one memorized until April. In the tunnel, Cade rolled his shoulders and bumped Liam with an elbow. First 5 minutes, he said. Let them learn your number. Jamal laced his boots like a priest tying a ribbon. Breathe, he said to no one and everyone. Ollie smacked his gloves together, each clap a superstition. Coach Harris stood in front of them and didn't give a speech. He looked at each face until the room held its own words. Do your jobs, he said softly. And enjoy the work. They walked out to a cheer that felt larger than the stand. The pitch looked the same and different, same lines, different gravity. Liam jogged to his touchline and let his fingers brush the grass. He always did it, a small pact with the ground. Whistle. The ball moved, and with it the world's axis. Early on, he took a touch too heavy and got shouldered into memory. He got up. On the next play he pressed with the angle Harris had drawn on 1,000 whiteboards and forced a clearance into touch. The third time, he checked, received, and returned it one touch, simple as water. 10 minutes in, Jamal slid a pass to Cade, who didn't cross so much as scrape a knife along the face of the box. Liam slid in at the back post and missed by a soul. He grinned, teeth and apology, and Cade rolled his eyes like hurry up and be good, then. "23 minutes. Eastbridge tried to play cute in their half. Liam felt the trap close in his legs before his head named it. He stepped, nicked, carried. The center back came like a gate swinging. Liam chopped inside. A second defender reached. There was a window the size of a postcard. He hit it. The keeper's glove brushed memory. The ball kissed net. For a moment there was nothing, no sound, No light, just the hush a dream makes when it realizes it is becoming true. Then the stand detonated. Cade crushed him from one side, Jamal from the other. Ollie arrived from an impossible distance, and someone yelled into his ear, "Now you're a number." He pointed once to the corner flag, not for show, but because the line had always pointed him somewhere. In the crowd, a sign lifted, a hand-painted rectangle that said "Don't hit the post" and 4 glittery stars. Sophie, jumping like a metronome joyous. His mother, hands on cheeks. His father, clapping with both shoulders. On the restart he almost tripped on his own feet, smiling. At halftime, Harris said only, "Good. Again. Don't fall in love with the idea of it. Fall in love with the next pass." They did. Eastbridge equalized on a set piece because football refuses to be a fairy tale for long stretches. The last 20 minutes were honest work. Liam tracked, tucked, offered, carried, released. In 88, he pressed a tired fullback into a mistake and won a corner. Jamal curled it near post. Cade, of course, head-butted it like somebody had insulted his mother. 2-1. Final whistle. 3 points. After the handshakes and the shouting and the breathless clatter of boots in a happy tunnel, Liam found his parents by the railing. His mother hugged him so hard he thought his ribs might remember forever. His father shook his hand like he was meeting him anew, then pulled him into a quick, awkward embrace that tasted like pride and salt. "You did your job," David said, voice thick. "And I enjoyed the work." Mr. Patel texted a photo of a pallet with the caption, "We stacked this one for you." Coach Marta smirked at him over a clipboard. "Don't make me regret that near post talk," she said. He laughed, the sound fragile and fierce. That night, home was a kitchen and a piano and a sister who insisted he watch the phone video 50 times. He lay in bed afterward with his heart still running laps and thought, not of trophies or magazine covers, but of cones and 4 a.m. and a sprained ankle that taught him patience. He thought of Cade's grudging, "Good," Jamal's knuckles on his shin pad, Ollie's distant shouts, Coach Harris' pencil making a small tick next to his name. He closed his eyes with a promise to the part of himself that had dribbled between clothesline poles and called them defenders. "We're not finished. Not even close." The week after the opener felt like walking through air that had been warmed on purpose. People at the burger van nodded at Liam by name. Kids asked for selfies they would probably forget to post. At the warehouse, Mr. Patel stacked his brakes so Liam could stretch in the loading bay. Even his father began reading sports pages aloud at breakfast, trying on the odd vocabulary of fixtures and form. Then football did what football always does. It reminded him that joy is rented by the week. The Valley. Riverton's next 3 matches were a grind. The second game, away to Mill Row, was played on a pitch that felt tilted and a wind that chose sides. Liam got kicked early and often by a fullback who wore a wedding ring and a scowl. He kept popping up, kept offering, but nothing caught. 0-0, and the coach's notes were mostly about patience and better decision-making in the final third. The third match, Wednesday under lights, jammed both teams into a midfield clog. Twice Liam picked a lock only to find the door opened onto another door. In the 87th minute, tired minds, heavy legs, he tracked back late and clipped an opponent. The free kick nicked ahead and became a goal that felt like an unkind joke. 0-1. By the fourth, at home, the crowd still sang but with a question in its throat. Liam's touch turned busy. He tried to do too much with a single action, the old instinct of proving you belong whistling in his ear. He dragged a shot wide and swore into his sleeve. At full time, 1-to-1, and the table made average look like a mirror. After the handshakes, Coach Marta beckoned him to the video room. She said nothing while a screen showed his last 90 minutes. Good pressing angles, a tidy first half, then a second half where he chased excellence and lost efficiency. At pause, she turned. "You're trying to write the whole novel with one sentence." "I feel like I owe us something," he said, surprising himself with the truth of it. "You owe the team your job," she replied, not unkind. "Not your guilt. Build pressure. Repeat actions that hurt them. The goal is not a painting, it's a receipt. Keep the ones that add up." He left with a USB stick and a quieter pulse. At the warehouse, the 4 a.m. shift dug its hooks in. Liam's hands got stronger and his sleep got stricter. He carried a resistance band in his backpack and looped it under his foot during breaks, copying Amara's ankle routine like a catechism. Sophie stuck a neon sticky note on his door. "Eat more bananas, dummy." Money remained what it had always been, a tightrope the family walked with their eyes forward. His reduced hours meant fewer notes in the jar by the cooker. His mother pretended not to notice, his father noticed and said nothing. That silence felt heavier than any lecture. On a drizzly Thursday, Liam found his father in the shed repairing a radio with his big dockworker hands. "You all right?" Liam asked, because it was easier than, "Am I making your life harder?" David didn't look up. "Your mother says you look thin." "I'm training more." "Training doesn't put petrol in the car." He set the screwdriver down, then picked it up again. "But I came last week. I saw what it puts in you." He sighed, the kind of sound you make when a thing you pushed against has decided not to move. "I can pick up extra shifts. But you pick up what you can hear. We don't drown for a dream. We swim better." It wasn't permission. It was partnership, spoken in the dialect of docks and practical men. The county cup arrived like a surprise day off. Harris rotated the squad but kept Liam in. "You need good habits to have good luck," he said. "Let's build both." Riverton went up early, then conceded twice to a side that had brought 7 busloads and a drummer. In the 72nd minute, Liam drew a foul in the box. The stadium inhaled. Cade grabbed the ball out of instinct, then looked at Liam. "Wanted?" he asked, flat. Liam heard every rehearsal he had ever held in his head: corner, side netting, breed, pass it into a picture you know. He nodded. "Yeah." He put the ball down on a dented spot that felt like a bad omen. He moved it an inch. The keeper jumped on the line like a man warming up an excuse. Liam ran up and hit it well, side foot, head still, proper. The keeper guessed right and found enough of it to scream the ball onto the post. The rebound spun wide with a physics lesson's petty grin. The stadium made the sound crowds make when hope bangs its head. Liam stood, frozen, and wanted to argue with the universe. Cade clapped his shoulder. "Next," he said. "Score the next." They didn't. Out of the cup. Tunnel air always smells a little like fried onions and failure, but that night it was extra. In the dressing room, Harris kept it simple. "Pick your chins up. This is not a tragedy. It's tuition." Marta wrote 3 words on the whiteboard. "Run up. Calm. Corner." She underlined calm twice. Amara taped ice around Liam's laces and said, "Your technique was fine." That was a keeper who did his job. Do yours again. At home, his father left a mug of tea on the table and turned on the kettle again, as if boiling water twice could help. Liam stared at his plate and tasted metal. "Do you know how many crates fall in a week?" David asked. "I don't. More than none. And we keep moving them." He lifted his mug. "I liked your run-up." Liam laughed, and a knot in his chest loosened enough to let sleep in later. 2 Saturdays later, Riverton beat West Pier 3-0. Liam didn't score, but he ran a personal best by the GPS and forced 5 turnovers in the final third. As he came off, a woman in a navy coat and clean trainers waited by the gate, talking to Harris. Her hair was cut short and decision-ready. Her eyes tracked Liam like a coach's would, but she wasn't a coach. Harris waved him over. "Liam, this is Rowan Pike," he said. "Recruitment at Northbridge United." Rowan put out a hand. Firm shake, quick smile. "We've watched you 3 times," she said. "You close space well. You press with purpose rather than panic. And when you choose simple, your team moves forward. We'd like to bring you in for a 2-week look with our reserves. See if the details still hold at speed." Liam's mouth forgot it knew how to be a mouth. When? "Window opens in 4 weeks, she said. "We'll handle insurance. It's unpaid, but we cover travel. You'll train mornings." Mornings. He pictured the warehouse, the 4 a.m., Mr. Patel's calendar living in his head. He pictured his parents' jar. He pictured the badge on Rowan's jacket, a level up in the pyramid he had traced with a pen on old match programs. "I need to talk to work. And my family." "Of course," Rowan said. "Speak to your gaffer. Then call me." She handed over a card that felt heavier than paper. Harris walked with him back to the dressing room. "You've earned this," he said. "But I need you here until then. No floating." He tapped Liam's chest. "Feet on grass." In the mirror, Liam caught the look on his own face, half elation, half fear, and recognized both. Mr. Patel listened to the whole ask without glancing at the clock. 2 weeks off mornings, he repeated. "I can backfill some. We're thin already." He drummed fingers once, twice. "You've been good to us. And I like stories with a point. We'll make it work, if you give me 3 weekends. And you pick up manifests at night the week after you're back." "Deal," Liam said, a little too quickly. At home, it was harder. His mother's eyes filled and emptied 3 times while she stirred soup. "I'll make it stretch," she said softly, not looking at him, as if money were dough she could lean on. His father stared at the calendar on the wall like it was a stranger late to dinner. 2 weeks isn't forever," Liam said, because something had to be spoken aloud. 2 weeks is petrol and boots, David replied. "But 2 weeks is also a chance you don't get again at your age." He sighed, then squared his shoulders against the world as if it had just gotten heavier. "We'll swim better." Sophie made a sign that said Northbridge OR nothing and stuck it above the kettle. The load. The 4 weeks before the trial were a stern teacher. Harris cranked training. 11v11 patterns with constraints. 5-second transition rules that made your legs make decisions your brain hadn't auditioned. Marta built a circuit for Liam she called left-sided honesty. Receive under pressure, protect the ball, release into a third-man run, repeat, repeat, repeat. Amara had him on a prehab plan. Hamstring eccentrics. Nordics that made him see ghosts, calf work, adductor holds, sleep like it paid wages. "The fastest way to make a coach love you is to be available," she said. "The second fastest is to track runners." He did both. He also met a wall in his chest he couldn't run through. The kind of fatigue where your brain gets 2 seconds slower and the game punishes you with a lesson. In a draw against Shoreline, he misread a cue and left Cade exposed. The resulting scramble wound up as a penalty. Ollie saved it, and the stadium exhaled a prayer none of them would admit to. After the match, Cade bumped him with a shoulder. "You good?" "Tired," Liam admitted. Eat like it's training, Cade said. And take your phone to bed in another room. Your thumbs are stealing your legs. Liam laughed, then did exactly that. The next week felt like breathing with both lungs again. The call you don't expect. 3 days before Northbridge, Harris named a rotated side for a midweek fixture. You're on the bench, he told Liam. Manage your load. It was practical, but it landed like a small demotion. At halftime, with Riverton down 0-1 and the tempo ugly, Harris sent him on. 15 minutes, he said. Then off. Do not race the clock. Make the clock race you. Liam pressed and turned a nothing ball into a corner, then won a foul that Cade used to scare the crossbar. On 14, Harris pointed to the bench, sub ready. The fourth official lifted his board, 11 lit in red. Liam jogged off, lungs thick. As he reached the touchline, his phone buzzed inside his zip jacket. He ignored it. After full time, 1-1, a header off someone's shoulder, he checked it by habit. A voicemail from a number he didn't know. Liam, it's Rowan. Small change. First team staff will watch your second week. Don't panic. It just means more eyes. See you Monday. He played the message twice, then once more for the way the words first team brushed the hair on his arms. Northbridge. The training ground smelled like cut grass and caffeine. The badge on the gate felt like a new language he'd learned enough of to ask directions. Rowan met him with a lanyard and a schedule so organized it looked calm. Pitch 3 for warm-up, pitch 2 for patterns, she said. You'll float between the reserves and some first-team drills. Don't be a statue. Don't be a ghost. Everything was faster. The rondos were meaner, the square of tape on the grass smaller. Players did not admire your touches, they borrowed your space. A reserve right back named Hodge tried to welcome Liam to the level with a firm tackle that made the ball squeak. Liam got up, said, again, and demanded it with his body. The next exchange, he rolled Hodge and escaped into a carry that earned a grudging grin. Coaches spoke in code. Third man, under, half space overload, pin and rotate. Liam found the meanings same as he had on the river pitch. Feel first, name later. The details he'd built at Riverton. The scanning, the simple pass executed with violence. The press that disrespected comfort, translated, if not elegantly, then honestly. The first team session on Thursday tilted the world. A winger with 2 countries on his passport showed Liam what burst really meant. A veteran fullback explained, with angles and elbows, how to legally make a boy play small. The manager, quiet, compact, eyes like he ironed the game with them, watched everything without watching anyone. At lunch, Rowan sat opposite with a tray and a story. I was like you, she said. Not good enough with the ball to play here, good enough with the head to stay. The jump isn't just speed, it's punishment for bad decisions. Make fewer bad ones than the guy next to you. That afternoon, in a finishing drill, Liam hit the far post again. The keeper who would be on TV on Saturday shook his head, almost kindly. Near post is a friend too, he said. He won't ghost you. Liam laughed, then scored the next one at the near stick on purpose. The message and the mess. Halfway through week 2, the manager stopped him after patterns. Bennett, he said, in a voice like a file drawer. You do 3 things very well. You also hesitate when you should simplify, and sometimes you hide behind fullbacks when the ball's on the other side. He nodded toward the fitness coach. Run with Dana, then come back. We're playing 11 this afternoon. It was not praise. It was not praise. It was oxygen disguised. He ran with Dana until his lungs asked for new names. He played 11 and did not hide. He made one mistake so loud he can still hear it. An underhit pass that turned into a counter. But he also stole 2 passes and turned one into a goal that looked like a sentence he'd finally learned how to write. Rowan caught him after. "Decision soon," she said. "End of the week. We'll call Harris either way." He went back to his room and lay down without closing his eyes. He thought of Agnes the piano under the kitchen window. He thought of Sophie's glitter sign and his mother measuring flour like a spell. He thought of his father in the shed with a screw that wouldn't turn until it did. His phone buzzed. A photo. The family at the table, 3 plates, 1 empty chair. The caption from Sophie, "Hurry home. We kept your seat warm. Back home, not yet done." Riverton felt smaller and kinder and more necessary when he came back for the Saturday fixture. Harris started him. "Be here," he said. "The call will be what it is. This is what it is." Liam was present like a church. He didn't score. He did 5 small things that won moments, that flicked momentum into Riverton's pocket. A back press that killed a break. A layoff that turned a clearance into an attack. A sprint that discouraged a pass. 1-0, Cade from a set piece because of course, and the table peered upward like a person opening blinds. After the match, his father hugged him and didn't let go as quickly as before. "Your mother says Northbridge has a cafeteria." "They have 3, Liam said, and learned that even jokes can be a kind of love letter. On Tuesday night, the phone rang while he and Sophie were timing his 3-minute planks. "Rowan, decision's in," she said. He put the call on speaker because Sophie's eyes had gone wide and because he didn't trust his hands to hold anything. "We want you back in January for a 6-week extended trial," Rowan said. "You'll train with the reserves and periodically with the first team. If it goes the way we think it might, we'll offer a development contract through next season." Silence the size of a field. Then Sophie shrieked, the kind of sound that saves small birds, and their mother was suddenly there, and their father was suddenly wiping his eyes with his shoulder like he had dusted something. Rowan's voice softened a fraction. "It's not a promise in ink," she said. "But it's real. We'll send the paperwork." "Thank you," Liam said, and it didn't feel like enough. "Thank your work," Rowan said. "The work got you seen." After the call, the kitchen filled with a noise Liam wanted to bottle. His mother put out plates like a celebration. His father said, "We'll swim better," and for once he smiled when he said it. Sophie taped a fresh sign over the 1st, January. "Bring boots." Later, when the house went quiet, Liam sat on the back step and looked at the small square of night above the shed. The air smelled like grass and old rain. He remembered the clothesline poles and how they had been defenders when he needed them to be. He remembered the post he'd hit, the penalty he hadn't scored, the voice in his ear that had learned how to whisper instead of shout. His phone buzzed one more time. A text from Cade. "Don't go soft on us before January. We need points." Liam grinned. "Near post on Saturday," he typed. "Far post," Cade replied. "Make them fear both." Liam put the phone down. He pressed his palms to the rough concrete and felt the planet hold. Tomorrow there would be 4 a.m., and cones, and Marta's voice in his head, and Harris' pencil tick, and Amara's band, and Ollie yelling something impossible from 50 yards away. Tomorrow would be work. He breathed in the quiet and promised the boy he had been, the one who dribbled past ghosts and argued with patched walls, that he would keep paying rent on joy, 1 week at a time. The cold came early that year. The kind of cold that made the pitch crackle under boots and turned every breath into smoke. By December, the world seemed to be waiting for Christmas, for the new year, for whatever January might bring to Liam's life. But football waits for no one. Keeping the edge, Harris pulled him aside after a Tuesday session. "Listen," he said, voice even. "You've got this Northbridge thing in your back pocket, but you're still here now. If you start playing with one foot in January, I'll notice. So will the table." "I'm here," Liam said. And he meant it. It wasn't easy. Every time he zipped up his training top or laced his boots, his mind tugged toward the thought of pitch 2 at Northbridge, toward the manager's quiet eyes. But Riverton's season was shaping up, and Harris was right. Points now mattered as much as dreams later. Marta added extra detail to his weeks. "You want to be ready for January? Fine," she said. "Then every decision you make here will have to stand up there. Speed, weight, scan, no lazy passes. We polish here so you shine there." Amara added to the look. Groin squeezes, hamstring curls, cold plunges in a plastic bin out back of the physio room. "It's harder to pull a muscle that's already been reminded it exists," she told him. At work, Mr. Patel became part-time nutritionist. Banana before shift, chicken wrap after. "Don't starve your legs. We're not shipping pallets, we're shipping you to Northbridge." It was said with a grin, but it carried the truth. The test before the test. 2 weeks before Christmas, Riverton faced Eastbridge again, the team Liam had scored his first goal against. This time, they were fighting for a playoff place. Harris started him wide left, Cade behind. The game had the slow tension of a rope being pulled. Liam's legs felt good, the pitch firm, the air sharp. At 20 minutes, he ghosted inside, took a return from Jamal, and tried a first-time shot. Blocked. At 42 minutes, he pressed the fullback into a blind pass, stole it, and fed Cade. Goal. "About time," Cade muttered with half a smile. But Eastbridge bit back. A corner in the 78th, a header nobody marked, 1-1. With 6 minutes to play, Liam took the ball near halfway. He had options. Recycle, slow, keep shape. Instead, he drove. One defender, then two. The keeper stepped early. Liam looked far post, remembered Cade's warning, and went near instead. 2-1. The floodlights hummed like they knew the script. Harris clapped once from the sideline, his way of saying yes. After the match, Marta simply said, "That's a Northbridge finish." The farewell, for now. The last game before the break was away at Mill Row again. This time, no wind, just mud. A 0-0 that looked like trench work, headers, tackles, boots scraping boots. Liam came off in the 85th with cramp and applause from the away stand. In the dressing room, Harris addressed the team, then turned to Liam. "We'll see you after. Go and make them want to keep you. But remember where you came from. This badge still needs you." Cade, lacing his boots, grinned. "If you score against me next year, I'll take it personally." Ollie called out, "Bring us shirts from their kid room." Jamal added, "Only if you've earned them." It felt less like leaving and more like being lent out by family. Northbridge, round 2. January arrived in a frost. Liam's first day back at Northbridge felt both familiar and new. He knew the drills now, the patterns, the speed. But the stakes were sharper. The first team manager was present at every session. In a midweek 11v11, Liam pressed high, won a ball, and set up a goal in the first 5 minutes. Later, he chased a lost cause down the line, kept it in with a slide, and sparked another attack. The assistant coach clapped, a rare currency. Rowan found him after. "Good, but now we see if you can do it every day for 6 weeks." The sessions blurred into a rhythm, rondos, tactical shape, small-sided matches with brutal intensity. The veterans tested him with hard tackles and quicker decisions. Some days he won those moments. Some days, the game reminded him he was still learning. One Friday, the manager pulled him aside. "Bennett, your pressing is top. Your decision-making is better. But you still have that winger's curse. Sometimes you think the ball's the whole picture. Remember the other 9 out there?" He nodded. It was criticism wrapped in the chance to stay. The game that mattered. Week 5, a reserves fixture against Holloway Town. Scouts in the stands. Rowan's eyes following him from the touchline. He started wide, patient, waiting for the game to breathe. At 15 minutes, a cutback from the opposite flank found him. One touch to settle, one to slot. 1-0. Second half, pressing again, he stole possession and squared for a teammate's tap in. 2-0. In the dying minutes, he tracked a winger the length of the pitch, made the tackle, and celebrated it like a goal. As the whistle blew, Rowan mouthed "well done." The call. 2 days later, Rowan sat him down in the manager's office. "We're offering you a development contract through next season," she said. "You'll start with the reserves, but you'll train with the first team twice a week." It's not riches. It's opportunity. For a second, the world narrowed. Not just to her words, but to the boy who had dribbled between clothesline poles, to the fullback at Riverton who told him to move it quicker, to his father's quiet, "We'll swim better." "Yes," he said, because there was nothing else to say. Rowan smiled. "Then let's get to work." Home again. He told his parents over tea that night. His mother's eyes shone like floodlights. His father simply said, "You've earned the right to try." That's all any of us can ask. Sophie ran in with her phone, already designing a new sign, Bennett 11 Northbridge. At the warehouse, Mr. Patel shook his hand like a proud uncle. "Don't forget where the pallets are when you're famous," he said. At Riverton, Harris and Marta both hugged him, awkward, quick, but real. "Don't think we won't be watching," Marta warned. "Standards travel with you." Cade just said, "Go make them fear both posts." The first day of the rest. His first official session as a contracted player came under a pale winter sun. He stepped onto pitch 2, the badge on his chest heavier than cloth. Around him, the game moved fast and sharp. But he'd been here before, in smaller ways. On the riverbank pitches, in beat tests at Riverton, in mud at Mill Row. This was just another pitch, another ball, another day to earn the next one. He touched the grass the way he always did, a small pact with the ground. Then he looked up, found his shape, and waited for the whistle. When it came, he moved, not for the moment, but for the long game.